Hi guys. So we have just finished up elements of fiction and writing a summary. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to focus on generalizations. Now we're still going to work with fiction text, but we are going to focus on how we can verify that a generalization is valid, why it's important to be able to understand generalizations, and why authors use them, okay? So in the first part of our lesson, we're going to really take a look at generalizations, identifying them, being able to tell whether or not they're valid or invalid. And then in the second part of our lesson, or lesson 2, we're going to really focus on a piece of text, A Christmas Carol, and the generalizations made throughout that text, so that we can understand why authors would use generalizations. Okay, so why study generalizations? Well, authors often make generalizations that we need to be able to recognize. For example, if you read All Birds Have Wings, you are reading about what all birds have in common, wings, and this is a generalization. So this is like a nonfiction example, and again, we are going to look at generalizations specifically in fiction text. All right, so before we move on, and we're going to take some notes here, what I'd like you to do is get a blank piece of paper and a pencil if you don't have one. And you're going to, we've done this before, you're just going to simply make a Freyer diagram where you're going to fold the paper in 4 equal parts. It can be a lined piece of paper like I have here, or it can be a piece of plain paper like you see on your screen. You are going to label it where you're going to put generalizations in the center because that's what we're going to be working with. Definition in the top left corner, clue words in the top right corner, and then of course at the bottom we're going to have a spot for examples and another one for non-examples. So you may need to pause the video here so that you have ample time to go ahead and make your Freyer diagram, because then the next few slides you're going to be adding things to your Freyer diagram so that you have a really nice note sheet to refer to when you are, working with generalizations, because it'll help you to be able to come back and look at this while you're looking for those generalizations. So in the first block, we're going to put in the definition of a generalization, and that's popping up now. It's a statement about all or most people, animals, or things together as a group, okay? So it's a statement, okay, and it's a broad statement. Generalizations can be valid or invalid, and of course valid means that they're true, and invalid means that they're false. And we're going to get into that in a little more detail on another day. But today we just want to really know that a generalization is a broad statement about most people, animals, or things as a group. So you're just making a generalization about a group based on what you know, okay? Generalizations must be based on facts, but they do not have to be valid, all right? Just keep that in mind. Again, you're only writing the words that are in the yellow print here on your graphic organizer. You can see I have one already filled out, okay? That would be, the definition only has those 2 bullets, okay? So the definition, and then that they can be valid or invalid, all right? If you need more time, you'll have to pause the video here and take some time to write those down. So examples of generalizations. Many children eat cereal for breakfast. That's a generalization, okay? So many children do eat cereal for breakfast, but some don't, right? Okay. Few people celebrate Groundhog Day. I know this to be true. Not many people actually celebrate this holiday. Everyone in North Carolina goes to the beach in the summer. Generalization here is saying that everyone goes to North Carolina for the beach in the summer, okay? Most large cities have tall buildings, okay? We know that to be true. Is it always true? No, all right? So these are 4 examples, and please go ahead and write those 4 examples, the whole sentence. There should be 4 sentences under your example block, and that's down below your definition block on your graphic organizer, okay? It's going to take you a couple minutes to write those 4 sentences, so you may need to pause at this point in the video. After you get these written, okay, now you're going to highlight, circle, color. If you have a crayon, whatever you have available to you, you're going to color the clue words. So in the first sentence, the clue word is many, okay? So we're talking about many people. That makes this a generalization. We're not talking about just one specific child or even a few, okay? We're talking about many. In the next sentence, our clue word is few. Few people celebrate Groundhog Day. So go ahead and highlight, circle the word few. In the third sentence, everyone is our clue word, that this is a generalization, okay? It's saying that everyone in North Carolina goes to the beach in the summer. And then in the fourth sentence, you want to circle or highlight most. That is our clue word. Generalizations have many clue words, and those are just 4. And we're going to look at a few more. So this is a huge list of just a few of the clue words. This is not all of the clue words. This is just some of the clue words that you will see when a generalization is being used. So you're going to take some time now and go ahead and in the top right corner of your Freyer diagram, you're going to put in these clue words. So we have always, generally, never, everyone, no one, all, some, many, sometimes, few, often, usually, seldom, and seldom means hardly ever, right? And most, okay? Those are your clue words that when you are reading a text and the author is using a generalization, you will usually see one of those type of words, okay? So we're going to actually come back to this Freyer diagram in another lesson, and we're going to look at these clue words to decide whether these clue words are valid or invalid, and then we're going to color code them, okay? So that's another important reason why you need to make sure that these are written on your Freyer diagram. So just make sure that those are on the top right box of your Freyer. If you need to pause the video here to finish adding those, you may do that. Then we have non-examples of generalizations, okay? And these are going to go in the bottom right corner of your Freyer diagram, okay? So non-examples, and we're using the same sentences, we're just replacing the large group of people with a specific person. So here we have Mrs. Morrison eats cereal for breakfast. That is not a generalization because it's specifically talking about Mrs. Morrison, okay? The next one is my grandparents celebrate Groundhog Day. That is not a generalization. It's talking about your grandparents, not about a group of people, okay? My family goes to the beach in North Carolina in the summer. Again, not a generalization, talking about your own family, not a group of people. And finally, the Empire State Building in New York is a tall building, okay? That is talking about one specific building, not making a generalization here. So make sure you take time and write all of these 4 sentences into the non-example box of your graphic organizer. And when it is finished, it should look something like this, okay? And make sure that you keep that in your binder because like I said, in our next lesson, we're going to be needing that. We're going to be looking at valid and invalid generalizations, and we're going to color code our clue words to give us some help there, okay? Okay, so now you're going to take a few minutes to practice identifying generalizations in Schoology, and that's the only other activity that you're going to do today, but this is very important learning that you need to do in order for us to move on Thursday and Friday in class. So please make sure that you have your Freyer diagram complete and that you complete the practice in Schoology. I think there's only 3 questions for you to answer in Schoology, and then I will see you shortly Thursday or Friday. Have fun.